Hello everyone, welcome to Talkie Dokie, and today I will give you my review and my thoughts on the OwlLab Mr. Suit. So, I've had my hands on this awesome keyboard for around 2 weeks right now. Um, it's an amazing experience, it's one of a kind experience coming from budget, quote unquote, budget boards that I've built since I got into the hobby. The first question that came into mind when I was buying this board was, is it really worth it? Is this keyboard going to feel a lot better than the boards that I've been using, the Keychron Q1, the Q2, the KBD67 Lite? The quick answer, yes, it's worth it. The OwlLab, the Mr. Suit keyboard is an amazing experience. It's a typing experience, it's a keyboard experience that I've never had before since I started the keyboard hobby last year. And I'm really glad I did get it. So, um, for a lot of my followers, you know that when I get my hands on a keyboard, I'm really excited to bring out the content as fast as I could. It took me 2 days to bring out my Keychron Q1 review. It took me a day to bring out my Q2 first impression and modding guide. And I've had the Mr. Suit for around 2 weeks right now. And up until now, I don't know how I'm going to make a content that would be worthy of this keyboard. It's just that good. Um, a lot of times when I introduce my friends into the hobby of mechanical keyboards, their question is it worth it? Is the price worth paying for? Because for those who are not into mechanical keyboards, they'd be paying two, three, four, five, or maybe 10 times as much as they would for an ordinary keyboard. And if they ask me, is it really worth spending that much? My answer is it really depends. The value and the worth of something is really a subjective topic. So, something that is worthwhile, something that is of value to me, might not be of value to another people. But if we're talking about those in the keyboard hobby, those that appreciate the keyboard, then I would tell you that the OwlLab Mr. Suit is definitely worth it. Um, Let me tell you a story. The first time I got and opened the box of the Mr. Suit, I was so excited. I opened it up. For those who are wondering, I got the Mr. Suit used from another mechanical keyboard user here in the marketplace in the Philippines. I got it at a really good price, and I asked permission from my wife. I do advise that you ask permission from your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance, if you're going to purchase a keyboard or any purchase in life for that matter. It's just a healthy habit. Keep that trust, okay, going. And for mechanical keyboard users, you don't want that keyboard being slammed on the floor on your face. It's really heavy. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right, so I got it used. I got it at a really good value, around half the price, the usual price that it goes for the market. It does have some scuff marks, but I really don't mind. I just wanted to have that experience. I've always been curious how the higher end board feels, and the assembly was straightforward. It's not that difficult to build as compared to the other keyboards that I see on YouTube videos. But the funny thing is, when I was assembling this keyboard, my hands were shaking. It took me a while to be able to insert the screws in the stabilizers, to lube the stabilizers as well. I was literally shaking. And I've built a lot of keyboards this past year. I've done a lot of modification, and yet when I opened up the box of the Mr. Suit, it was like, oh, there's something amazing in front of me. It's a transcendental experience. Okay, um, it's really amazing. So I was putting the screws in. I finally assembled the board. I put in some durock palms, and I tried the configuration without the case. No, the first configuration I tried was with the case, without the case foam, without the PE foam, but with the plate foam. And the first time that I plugged it in and opened up Monkey Type and typed in the first few words, believe you me, tears went rolling down my eyes. That's how good it was. Okay. I literally cried. Okay. Um, and my wife saw me. It was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, this is so good. This is so good. The typing feel was so good. The sound was so good. Um, that's how good the Mr. Suit was. Um, this was the first time that I got my hands on a high tier board. I told myself that I wouldn't go past the $200 price point. So I've been using the Q1, I've been using the Q2, the KBD Lite 67, and don't get me wrong, those are awesome boards. I would still recommend them for anyone who are looking out for a good, not decent, for a good mechanical keyboard at that price point. It's really good. Those boards are really good. But the Mr. Suit, it's really something else. The bounce, the sound, the typing feel, the flex, everything. Everything's just so good. And what I like most about this keyboard um, is that you can do a lot of things with it, and you can customize it so that it sounds and it feels the way you like it. So, for example, the Keychron Q1, you could do a lot of modifications in it. You can change the plate, you can change the foam, the layers. You can do anything. You can do a lot. But the sound increments, the change in the profile with each of those modifications, they're not as drastic as with this board. This board, you can make it feel stiff, you can make it feel very bouncy, you can make it feel midway, the stiff and bouncy. You can make it sound clacky, you can make it sound thocky, you can make it sound muted. There's a lot of things that you can do with this board. And what's amazing is that in any of those configuration, the experience is still the same. It's still an awesome experience. The first time I got this board, I placed in the durock palms and the configuration that I told you before. I'll show it here in the sound test. The sound is very clean, although it sounded a bit muted for my taste, but I really loved the bounce of that board. So it was so bouncy. Unlike the bounce of the Keychron was bouncy, it was flexy, but this one, it's like you feel that for each finger press, it's like you feel the board, the flex, the PCB cut-offs, the flex cuts in the board. You will feel them literally pushing slightly your fingers after each key actuation. And I really love that. The only problem with that configuration, with my first configuration with the board, is that I felt that it was too muted. And so after playing around with a lot of configurations, one of my friends told me that you should use the PE foam to bring out the sound of the board. And true enough, putting the PE foam, it brightens up the sound of the board. It makes it more lively. Um, true enough, the PE foam really brightened up the board. Um, it it sounds a lot fuller, very poppy, not so marbly, but it's really good. It's a marbly good level. My only problem with putting the PE foam is that for me it eliminated that bounce and that flex and that typing feel that I experienced when I first used the board without the PE foam. So don't get me wrong. A lot of reviews say that the PE foam is too strong of a mod, that it eliminates the character of the switches, the plate. I didn't feel that way. So for me, I thought the PE foam sounded nice. It sounded different using different plates as well. It wasn't too strong for me. My only problem is that PE foam for me eliminated the benefit of the flex cuts of the PCB. And if you see the flex cut of the PCB of the Mr. Suit, oh my god, oh my god, it's so wonderful. Okay, it's like a work of art. Okay, there's a horizontal flex cut and there are per key flex cuts in the middle of the board. It's really awesome. And for me, I think that's the one which brings about that bouncy typing feel on each keystroke that I was describing. And yet, however, when I placed the PE foam, I felt that it drastically reduced that. Using the aluminum plate, it almost eliminated it. And that is a thin piece of foam, and yet I felt that with the aluminum plate, that bouncy feeling that I was looking for, it got completely eliminated. And so I did some experiments as well with this board. So I had an extra PE foam because the board that I got came with another set of PCB. So I tried to cut out that PE foam to match the flex cuts of the PCB. And while it did work in bringing about that bouncy and flexy feeling, it also lost the sound profile that I was wanting. So it's livelier than without the PE foam, but it's still muted compared when the PE foam was a whole piece of foam. So that was out of the option. I did have the POM Plate, which is crazy good as well. It is crazy bouncy. You could feel that it goes up to the level of the flex of the Q1, the up and down flex of the Q1 when you put in the POM Plate. But then I still miss the sound, the crunchy, the poppy sound of the aluminum plate with the PE foam. So luckily, I got my hands on the FR4 plate, and I think this is the perfect balance between what I was looking for, that crunchy, poppy, lively sound, and yet I could feel the bounciness with each keystroke. And mind you, I'm not looking for the flex. I'm not looking for the up and down flex that the Q1 has. I'm looking for that bouncy feeling, and I think the FR4 plate was the one who was able to provide that. And so I think I'd be sticking with this configuration a lot. Yeah, and it's a good board. So here's a sound test. So that's it for my review of the Mr. Suit. If you do have the chance to get one, and if you do have the money saved up for it, I think it's a worthwhile purchase. I think it's worth it. Um, I think this board will be sticking with me for a long time. Uh, it's really that good. I am a fan personally of 75% and 65% layout. This is a TKL layout, but even if this is not my top pick, because of how good this board is, it's one of my favorite boards right now. It looks gorgeous. It feels really, really good. It sounds acoustically perfect in every way that you want. It's very customizable. You can make it feel and sound the way you like it. And it's truly a work of art. That's just how it is. It's a work of art. So, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching my content about the Mr. Suit. If you do like the content, if you do like the channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm doing this as a hobby. I am a full-time pediatrician. I'm a newborn photographer. And among the many things I'm doing in life, keyboard is one of them, which I'm really enjoying. It does take a lot of time and effort, and I would hope that you would like and subscribe in the channel. It will mean a lot, and hopefully I could keep on doing this and giving you some inputs. I'm planning to do several boards lined up, several modifications as well, so stay tuned, hit that notification button, and I hope to see more of you. Once again, this is Toki Doki. Thank you for watching.